Hey preacher girls, and welcome to the emerald green eyeshadow look tutorial. And I work with my Daisy tea, as you can see in this video. While I was putting the makeup on, I didn't speak because I can't do two things at once. Alright, so forgive the t-shirt. I know I look like a corpse here, but this is basically how I look after I've done my foundation. And we've sped up the eyebrows because you girls know I'm not the best at eyebrows. I really don't spend a whole lot of time on my eyebrows, but what I did here was the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow gel. And because I don't want it to look like I went to my head with a Sharpie, I use a little brush and then I comb through the each individual hair. Now this is one of my favorite products. This is a Laura Mercier eye primer. I know you guys love the Urban Decay Potion, but that has never worked for me because my eyelids are a little bit darker than the rest of my face. But this stuff by Laura Mercier, look, I just have to put it under my brow and then use my finger and it spreads perfectly. And it's pigmented, so it hides all the discoloration and whatever dark circles on my finger is the best way to put it on. So I'm just putting a little bit of powder to set that area around my mouth, under my cheeks, because that's where the little lines are, the smile lines. Shh, don't tell anybody I have smile lines, but I do. Okay, now I'm using a little bit of foundation to just fix those areas. Oh, this is my Juvia's palette, Juvia's Place. I want to give a shout out to MUA Face Maker. Hazel is the one who gave me this palette. And I'm starting with a really light color under the brow bone. As you've seen, I've swept this all over my eye and I'm following this with this awesome orangey red. If you're a little bit tan like me or a lot tan, this orangey red is such a good complement to our skin. And I'm applying this with a fluffy Morphe brush in circular motions. Now, I want you to notice on the corner of my eye how I go all the way up almost to the edge of my eyebrow. You don't want to be, worry about being too precise, and don't be afraid to go up too high. You want to make sure you see color. I see a lot of girls make a mistake of just putting this transition color on their lid itself or in the crease. And the problem is when you do that and you open your eyes, you're not going to see any color. So you want to go above your crease. You see how that is? Above the crease, along the line of your crease, and close to the top of your eyebrow in the middle of your face. And do all of that in circular buffing motions. And so you never can spend enough time really blending. And since we already put a neutral color over the whole lid, I took a little minute and just went circular, circular, circular around so that it was nice and blended through. Make sure it's nice and diffused on the edges. You see how there are no sharp lines there? Well, we are eventually going to get sharp lines on this look, but not right now. I'm taking that deeper orange and going back into the crease a little bit tighter and darker. Now, look at this, girls. You see this? With a smaller brush, I grabbed a little bit of the brown in the very same palette. I put it along the bottom line of my eye. So my lower lid, I went along that line and put a sharp edge of a piece of plastic. And if I tell you guys what that plastic is, you would laugh at me. But I'll tell you anyway. It's a patch. It's the backing of a sticker. And it has a straight line. And that's literally all you need. It's a sticker backing that I peeled off of a sticker. And I use it to create that straight line. Now, I don't like just a straight, clean line. I like how it's diffused in the orange. And then you have the sharp brown line on top of that. I just think it adds a whole other dimension and more depth to the look of your eye. And it doesn't look like, you just have like a bat wing sticking out of your head. So after I do the sharp brown line, I use that fluffy brush to blend it in a little. And then with the tiniest bit of brown, we go back into the crease, just making a V on the corner of your eye with that brown. Now this brown in this Juvia's Place palette is like a greenish brown, so it's really good for that emerald green look. I'm liking it a whole lot, and I'm going in with an even darker color, close to black, is in that palette, and I'm going over that same spot and a little bit less spread out than the one before. Now this is an even smaller brush. If you don't have a small brush like this, you can use a fluffy brush with a pointy tip. It will do the same job. You just don't want to press too hard. Now right here along the top lash, close to my lash line, along the top lid, I did a little bit more of that dark color. Now you guys know what this is. This pigment palette, this pot of pigment is my best friend when it comes to makeup. I've used it before, and I just put a little bit on my finger with the green and used it as a base for this yellow color that's gonna go close to my tear duct, to the inner corner of my eye. Just a little bit of that yellow. Now this green is not really an emerald green. It's more of like a Kelly green, but on our skin and close to that yellow, it really shines up like an emerald. And I use a dense short fiber brush, synthetic brush, to apply that color all over that creamy green. Now I want you to notice how I'm going above the eyelid. I'm just not on the eyelid, but I went above the crease of my eyelid so that that green could show, you know. If you're gonna use ridiculous colors like this, you gotta at least let them show a little bit. You don't want to go on the yellow because you want to make sure that yellow shows a little bit. Now, not a whole lot of yellow because you don't want to look like you have jaundice, right? So just a little bit of a golden yellow. And then I take my finger, I dip it in that green, and use my finger, because it's warm, to diffuse and blend and cause the shine. This is a nice sparkly green which blends so nicely into the matte dark green. I didn't even see what I was showing you in the palette there, but here it is. I'm just going back over in the dark area along the top lash line and in the V at the side of my eye to make sure it's nice and defined, and blend, blend, blend. I know a lot of you girls are scared to wear the colors. You guys tell me that all the time, but it's okay. It's okay. You can do it, and you can wear colors. And just to refresh the color, I went back in with that orange on the corners and went only on the outer half, upper edge of my eye, and you want to blend that out so it's nice and diffused and it looks like an airbrush and not like you just emptied a can of paint onto your eyelid. So this is all just blending. I don't go all the way up to the eyebrow, but I come all the way past the corner of my eye. It really helps elongate your eye and make it look even larger. Also, for you girls who are like me and not 20 something, and you want to make sure your eyes don't look droopy or hooded, don't be afraid to go past the natural line of your eye out to the corner of your face. Because if you go up and out, you know, up towards your temple, you give your eye like a natural lift, and that is so very flattering. Now here on the very high arch of your eyebrow, if you have an arch, put it there. If you don't have one, make one with this bone colored powder. This is that white, almost what is that, like a wheat color? Yeah, and you put it on the high arch. It helps make your eyebrows look nice and curved, if that's the look you're going for. Some of you have gorgeous, thick, straight eyebrows. You don't need any enhancement on your eyebrows. And then underneath, I'm using an eyeliner brush. I rarely do. Usually I just use a pencil, but today I'm using an eyeliner brush because I want to do blue. So you can't really see it when I'm going in on the lower lash line with a blue pigment. It's from that Makeup Forever palette, and I'm going into my lower lash line and making sure that it's a solid line and it's not broken up. The worst is when you see parts of skin and parts of lash, and then I took a small brush and just diffused that. I'm sorry you can't get a very good view there, but that's the other thing. If you're gonna line the bottom lid, you want to make sure you are not afraid to do that. Let me give you another tip. It's really cute not to make the line go all the way to the inner corner of your eye. I stop 3/4 of the way and then pull it all the way to the end. So right above my eyeball is where the thinnest part of the cat eye line goes, and then all the way out past to where I started that brown V. Do you see that dark gray, green, brown V I'm doing right now? It goes to the very tip. That's exactly where I start. It goes to the very tip of that winged eyeliner, and then I diffuse it. I blend it into the eyeliner and blend it into the very edge of the crease. Now what that does is create the illusion that your eye is actually more almond shape and bigger than it actually is. Mascara, I'm using the L'Oreal telescopic mascara. I think they're $8 at Walgreens, and they don't thicken, but they do lengthen. So if you have naturally thick lashes, this is a good option for you. I didn't want these, but I couldn't find the Better Than Sex ones that I love even better. They were somewhere, but one of my purses or something, so I couldn't find it. So I just used the telescopic. And I don't wear falsies. I bought a set of magnetic falsies, and I've tried them one day so far, but it's such a pain to put the eyeliner on for it. So I just try to make my regular lashes look as long as I can. If you want to know why I keep glancing over to my right, I have a small TV in my closet, and I usually am watching. Oh, I messed up my cheek. You see that? It looks like a beauty mark, but it's just mascara. Don't panic. If you get mascara on your face, don't panic. Just don't wipe it off either. Just leave it there. Let it get completely dry, and then literally you can just scrape it off. Don't panic. Don't go crazy. I see it. Wow, I should have left it. It's kind of cute. But no, I took it off. So there you have the finished eye look, and now I'm doing my lips. You can't really see it because it was supposed to be an eye look and not a video look. But because I did such a bold eye, I went in with a more neutral brown color on my lips. No red, no purples, no nothing like that. Just a more skin tone brown color. And I like brown. Brown is really pretty. And a gloss. Here is that Preacher Girl shirt, the Daisy shirt. Now you're like, why didn't you do a yellow eye for the yellow shirt? Because I didn't want to look like if I was jaundiced. That's one. And I think that yellow and look, you see yellow and green complement each other. Yes, there is a filter on this, but isn't she bronze? So I like the green and the brown together. I hope you really like it. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe, and see you next time.